Yes, yes.
Okay, now let us start with the prayer. Kirat by our Vice Principal, Dr. Sheikh Abdul Khadir sir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين صدق الله العليم.
Thank you, Professor, for the special prayer for our college and for us. Now let us start the program with the concurrence of IPSC team of Khadir Mohideen College and the PG and Research Department of Economics, Khadir Mohideen College, Adirampattinam. Now I welcome our Professor, Vice Principal, Head of the Department of PG and Research Department of Economics. I invite Major Dr. P. Kanavi sir to deliver welcome address. Please, sir.
உலகம் ஏகனாய் காக்கும் வல்லோன் உனக்கே வான்புகள் அனைத்தும். Morning to all. Today we are going to organize a 1 week Haji Kalvitandai Haji SM Sheikh Salaluddin Centenary Celebration 2020 1 week program international level on COVID-19 on global economy. Effects on global economy. First of all, I thank to our beloved Secretary, Janab Dr. A.J. Ablution, for granting permission to conduct these type of programs. Our Secretary is always dynamic personality and motivating all the faculty members to conduct various programs in the lockdown period also. Our founder, Secretary and Correspondent, father of our beloved Secretary, Kalvitandai Haji SM Sheikh Salaluddin, started the Khadir Mohideen High School in the year 1949 at the age of 26. After that, he started a Khadir Mohideen College in the year 1955 for the welfare of the rural people for higher education. And then in the year 1982, our founder started Khadir Mohideen Girls High School to develop the women education in the rural area. In the month of January, our Honorable Beloved Secretary Janab Dr. A.J. Ablution celebrated his father's centenary celebration function, January 2020. In this function, he has announced a very good program for the welfare of the rural people and the rural students, morning free breakfast systems. It is very highly useful to the in and around of our district and other district peoples and the students also. In the memory of his father's centenary celebrations, he constructed very big arch in front of the college on the East Coast Road. And then he constructed very big stage in the memory of his father's centenary celebrations. And also construction of multi-story buildings for the development of the various departments. 2 years before, he started the B Aramic for the rural peoples, and then he started a home science, BSc home science for the women students only, because he is always give importance to the women education in always. I am very much glad to welcome our principal, Dr. M. Mohideen. He is always motivating to our departments, not only our department, in all the departments to conduct the lockdown online programs. In that way, once again, I welcome our principal on behalf of PG and Research Department of Economics and the Internal Quality Assurance of Khadir Mohideen College, Adirampattinam, Tamil Nadu, India. And then I welcome our Vice Principals, Dr. A. Sheikh Abdul Qadir, Vice Principal and HOD of the Computer Science. And I welcome our Vice Principal, Dr. A. Hamsad, and Vice Principal and HOD, Head of the Department of Zoology. And I welcome our Dynamic Research Advisor and this program coordinator and organizing secretary of our Madam Dr. Mrs. and Chitra for the effective conduct of this seminar for 1 week. I welcome all the faculty members of our college and teaching and non-teaching of our college, and I welcome our resource persons. I am very glad to welcome our resource person, Dr. Sarika Dubai. I am very much thankful to our Dr. Mrs. Chitra for creating this type of organizing this type of program. That is very proud to our college, not only our college, in our university also. And I welcome all the participants, those who are attending this program. Once again, I thank you all on behalf of PG and Research on Economics and the IQAC of the Khadir Mohideen College. Once again, welcome all the people. Thank you very much. Now I invite our coordinator, organizing secretary, and dynamic research advisor of our college and the PG and Department of Economics, Dr. Mrs. and Chitra, for introductory address.
Thank you very much, sir. Before we go for introductory address, let us have the blessings because of his, unless otherwise his cooperation is here, this program would never be possible. So let me invite our Honorable Principal, Dr. M. Mohideen, to deliver presidential address. Please, sir.
Respected Vice Principals of this great institution, Major Dr. S.P. Ganapati, Vice Principal and HOD of Economics, Dr. A. Sheikh Abdul Qadir, Vice Principal and HOD of Computer Science, Dr. A. Hamsad, Vice Principal and HOD of Zoology, and Senior Associate Professor of this institution, Professor Dr. N. Chitra, Associate Professor of Economics, and other colleagues. I invite one and all. First of all, I remember our founder who had started this institution in the year 1955 on the welfare of economically downtrodden people. He has given me an opportunity to work in this great institution as Assistant Professor of Commerce in the year 1985. Always I remember him. Now, our college secretary, Haji Janab Dr. S.J. Abul Hassan, has utilizing all the efforts to develop this institution in a grand manner. He has given me an opportunity to act as a principal of this great institution. I thank him. I also invite Professor Sarika Dubey, Uttar Pradesh. Now she has acted as a resource person for this seminar. This topic is environmental security is essential to combat global catastrophes. I wish one and all to success the function.
Thank you, sir, for your inspirational, motivational, introductory, welcome address to this program.
Now I invite our faculty and senior research advisor of our college and coordinator and organizing secretary of this program, the 1 week program, Dr. Mrs. and Chitra, for introductory address.
ஷேர் பண்ணு.
Shares.
பண்ணிட்டேனே.
Next.
So it's my kind privilege and blessings of the Almighty, of my elders, blessings of the secretary, principal, vice principal. I am very much privileged and very much fortunate to give a keynote address for this Kalvi Tandai Haji SMS Sheikh Jalaluddin Centenary Celebration 2020 1 week international level online faculty development program on effects of COVID-19 on global economy. We have to feel very much proud of ourselves that we are an economist handling this international level online faculty development program on effects of COVID-19 on global economy. In this platform, there are 7 flowers. All are my close friends. They are awaiting to give their own pleasure lecture, knowledgeable lecture. What is the effect on COVID-19 on global economy? I am very much happy, privileged, qualified, and above all these things, the blessings of the Almighty, of my elders, I am very much happy to introduce all here. My duty. Of course, due to the pandemic period, this is our college entrance, Dr. Sarika Dubey. You are most welcome to our college, to this platform.
Thank you.
This is the entrance of our college, which is constructed before this pandemic period, and we have celebrated centenary celebration before the pandemic period started. Of course, this program is solely and wholly dedicated to our founder, Kalvi Tandai Haji SMS Sheikh Jalaluddin sir. This is the year, centenary celebration year we are celebrating. Hence, we have instituted this 1 week faculty development program at the international level. I am very much fortunate to introduce our founder to the chief guest and all the participants in this platform. Khadir Mohideen College Higher Secondary School started in the year 1949 by our Kalvi Tandai Haji SMS Sheikh Jalaluddin sir. Khadir Mohideen College affiliated to University of Madras, which was instituted in the year 1955, and affiliated to Bharadasan University, Tiruchirappalli in the year 1982. And Khadir Mohideen Girls Higher Secondary School in the year 1982. Because of his blessings only, even in the pandemic period, though we are sleeping in the lockdown period, this gentleman's blessings are induced us to make us to stand at this platform. So I am very much happy and fortunate to introduce our founder, Kalvi Tandai. Of course, our secretary, the 4th son of our Kalvi Tandai Haji SMS Sheikh Jalaluddin sir, chief patron of this program, Dr. S.J. Abul Hassan sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your motivation, and you are giving all the facilities in our college to promote ourselves to the next level by conducting all these programs. On behalf of IQAC and the PG and the Research Department of Economics, I am really thankful to you, sir, and all the faculties and academicians are uh, dedicated to you, and they are showing their gratitudes for this program. Thank you, sir. So I am very much happy to show these slides. The celebration what you have conducted in the centenary celebration by the help of our Honorable Secretary. So this is the centenary celebration we have celebrated before this pandemic period. From the pandemic period, before 1 week, we have celebrated these things in our college. We had instituted more courses and a campus program for the students, for the rural students to get their job, and he is motivating us in all his respects, spending more money for our upliftment. Thank you very much, sir. I am very much privileged to introduce you. Of course, the patron of this platform today, Kalvi Tande Haji SMS Sheikh Jalaluddin Centenary Celebration 2020 1 week international level online faculty development program on effects of COVID-19 on global economy. Our Honorable Principal Dr. M. Mohideen sir is very much here, and he is under his guidance. We are all making this program very much fruitful. At this lockdown period, he had also conducted one online PhD public viva examination. Because of unless otherwise we have his cooperation, this program would never be possible. Thank you very much, sir. I am very much happy to introduce yourself to 2,400 participants today. Thank you very much, sir, for all your cooperation, and I am very happy to introduce this gentleman. Our vice principals, we are very. Our vice principal, I am much proud to introduce our vice principal. Our secretary is he is realizing our condition, and he is he is appointed 3 vice principals to help us in all our academic endeavors, to uplift our all academic endeavors. Major Dr. P. Ganamai sir, I am very much happy to introduce this gentleman, Vice Principal, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of PG and Research Department of Economics, and especially convener of this Kalvi Tande Haji SMS Sheikh Jalaluddin Centenary Celebration 2020 1 week FDP on effects of COVID-19 on global economy. As an economist, I am very much happy to introduce our Vice Principal. Of course, my brother, Dr. A. Sheikh Abdul Khadir sir, Vice Principal, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of PG and Research Department of Computer Science. These 3 Vice Principals are our pillar in all our respect, especially at this lockdown period. Thank you very much, Dr. A. Sheikh Abdul Khadir sir. I am very much happy and privileged to introduce you to this platform. Thank you. And Dr. A. Amsad sir, our Vice Principal, Head of the Department of PG and Research Department of Zoology, Associate Professor. I am very much happy with this to introduce this gentleman, to introduce in this platform. He is a very dynamic personality, and these 3 vice principals are giving their own advices and cooperation, guidance to all the nook and corner of academic activities. Very much happy to introduce the vice principals in this platform. Of course, the convener of today's program, Kalvi Tande Haji SMS Sheikh Jalaluddin Centenary Celebration 2020 1 week international level online faculty development program on the effects of COVID-19 on global economy. I am very much happy to introduce this gentleman convener. He is having 29 years of NCC experience. He had joined as a cadet. He had completed captain program, and he's a major. He lost one of his child when he went for training for NCC program. Really proud of you, sir, and hats off to you to introduce you in this platform. In this today's program, he is the convener, vice principal, head and associate professor of PG and Research Department of Economics. Unless otherwise he gives his cooperation and permission, this program would never be possible. Thank you very much, sir. Coordinator and the organizing secretary. I am very much happy to show these slides because these three programs we have conducted online public VIOS examination for our students, FDP faculty development program, capacity building program, and a webinar last week. Only to show these slides are shown here. Thank you very much. Of course, these people, they are all working assistant professors of economics from our department. With all their cooperation, this program is conducted at the international level for 1 week. Thank you very much, Professor. Of course, we are really, our secretary is encouraging our alumni always. So we are, this is the slide. I am very much happy to show all these things to these participants and to Dr. Sarika Dubey. All the people are coming here to encourage our youngsters, alumni from our department. The man who is coming, our former HOD, former principal of this college, Dr. A. Muhammad Abdul Khadir sir, economist, and the former principal, Dr. A. Muhammad Mohideen sir. I am very much happy to introduce you all to this platform. Thank you, sir. This is the alumni program we have conducted last year. We are celebrating alumni program always. Every year we are celebrating. This is a program we have celebrated last year. Our Vice Principal, Dr. Major Ganapati sir, is honoring our secretary in the alumni meet. Thank you, sir. This slide itself shows that how much cooperation I have to conduct this 1 week online faculty development program. These are all our faculty members from our Department of Economics. Very happy to introduce you all to this participants. Of course, without these backbones, we cannot conduct this program. Dr. R. Gopala Sundar, from the beginning, giving the link for the registration, after the following up, and even now he is looking after the program at each and every corner of the program. After this program, he is encouraging all the participants. Today, 2,400 participants are participating in this program. After this, feedback will be given after 1 week program. Every day, everyone has to attend. You will be in watch. So all the things are doing by Dr. R. Gopala Sundar, our alumni. He is working as an assistant professor, PG, under Research Department of Economics, Saraswati Narayanan College, Perukudi, Madurai. Of course, our proprietor of Hamidia Browsing Center. This PowerPoint is made printout from his computer center only. He is like my younger brother. He is roaming here and there for the past 10 days for this program to become fruitful. She is Mrs. R. Rekha. She is like my daughter, preparing this PowerPoint program, all the invitations, all the program schedule. She is, thank you very much, Rekha. I am very much happy to introduce you all to these participants. Mr. Alan Bridget, he is making the program by giving technical support like the online faculty development program. Thank you very much, Mr. Alan. And I am very much happy to introduce you to all. Shreyas Asardin, he is a technician and a computer technician and helping us understanding like a shoulder to this program. Thank you very much, Asardin. I am very happy to introduce you to this platform. This is the invitation. 7 associates are waiting. Dr. Sarika Dubey, Dr. Varakamal Visatri, Dr. Rohita, Dr. S. Chinnamai, Dr. Bhavana Pukkarna, Dr. S. Binduja, and Dr. S. Shafina Bano. Seven associates are making themselves ready to share their views and concepts in this platform. For Kalvi Tandai Haji Ismail Sheikh Jalaluddin Centenary Celebration 2020 1 week program from 1st of this month to 7th of July. International level online faculty development program on effects of COVID-19 on global economy, organized by IQAC and the PG and Research Department of Economics, Khadir Mohideen College. Now, day one. Today, the speaker, Dr. Sarika Dubey, she is a very close friend of mine. When I attended the international level FDP program in Goa, she came very close to me because of his smiling face, energetic, enthusiastic participant. She is an enthusiastic participant in all the academic activities. Thank you very much, Dr. Sarika Dubey, for kindly consented your permission and having been ready to deliver your lecture today. I am very happy to introduce our resource person of today to all our participants. Dr. Sarika Dubey, she is an associate professor and head of the department of political science, Prayag Mahila Vidyapeeth Degree College, Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh, India. Her area of interest is international relations and politics and women studies. Educational pursuit, MA Political Science, Sociology, UGC NET, DPhil. She is having 16 years and 8 months of teaching experience. She had published 31 research papers in the refereed journals at the national and the international level. She had published 4 books, Current Issues in World Politics in the year 2009, Women Empowerment Challenges of the Millennium 2015, Samkalin Rajneetik Mudde, that is in the year 2014, Bharat Sri Lanka Sambat Samasyayan or Sambhavanayan in the year 2017. She is awarded many awards. She had received IMRF Young Social Scientist Award by IMRF Institute for Education and Research Malaysia Chapter Malaysia. Nominated for Bharat Jyoti Award, delivered invited talk and chaired technical sessions in the International Conference on Global Trends in E-Commerce, Economics, Legal Studies, Journalism and Social Science 2019 at the University of Malaya, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Delivered invited talk in the International Science Congress, Bangkok, Thailand in the year 2017 at the Asian Institute of Technology, Bangkok. She had delivered many invited talks and chaired technical sessions in the national and international conferences in India and abroad. She is appointed as subject expert by the various institutions and universities and government bodies. Developed innovative teaching practices with interactive sessions on zero investment at the UG level in the subject of political science and produced best results, and also developed easy learning teaching methodologies for the students. 6 papers are published in reputed international magazine, Diplomatist. In fact, I am very much happy to see you, Dr. Sarika Dubey, today at this platform. Very much happy, and thank you very much for your concurrence. People are awaiting because of the emerging topic for this present scenario and present situation. Environmental security is very much a most and inevitable to the people. We are very happy to enjoy your talk today. Now the platform is handed over to our resource person, Dr. Sarika Dubey. Thank you very much. Thank you. One and all present here. You are not audible. Remove your headphone.
Okay.
And now it is audible.
Yes, it was mute. Thank you, Dr. Chitra ma'am. Good morning to everyone. Thank you, Dr. Chitra ma'am, for
Thank you.
introducing me with lovely adjectives and saying a lots of things about me. But here I would like to say that I am still a student of political science and trying to collect pearls from the ocean of knowledge. The more I go in deep, the more it expands. For me, it's such an endless journey where every stop is also a destination and way to. Well, friends, first of all, I would like to thank Economics Department, Dr. Chitra ma'am, Head PG and Research Department of Economics, Vice Principal, Dr. A. Shaikh Abdul Khadir ji, Vice Principal, Major Dr. P. Ganapathy ji, Principal, Dr. M. Mohammad Mohideen ji, and and an entire team for organizing this faculty development program on the very relevant topic and for making me a part of this wonderful event. Friends, today I will present my views on environmental security is essential to combat global catastrophes. The purpose of this study is to draw your attention towards global catastrophes risk, then identify and discuss environmental issues and present viable solutions. And for this, I have divided my lecture into three parts. In the first part, we will discuss impact of human activities on environment. In the second part, we will talk on global catastrophic risk and environmental security. And in the third part, we will discuss environment versus development debates. Then conclude. It has been said in Sanskrit, Paryavaran nashen nashyanti sarva jantavah pavanah dushtatam yati prakriti veer kikirti ayati. Means pollution of the environment, all living beings are destroyed. The air becomes evil, and we all have seen during these days. As you know, as you all know, we all are facing century's biggest challenge in the form of COVID-19 pandemic. We really thought that such a day would come, but it is hard reality. We can realize how helpless we are despite our advanced technologies and science. But these circumstances have also made us think a lot. And the first and foremost important thing is, what do we need exactly for our survival? Food, water, air, shelter, and what? If I elaborate this, I would say we can live without anything else, but cannot survive without such basic necessities. Neat and clean environment is also our basic necessity. We need fresh air to breathe, fresh water to drink, and without all these things, we won't be able to survive. We don't need malls, we don't need cars, we don't need gold and silver. In fact, we need nothing like that. But actually, what do we need are food, water, air, shelter, which are very basic to us. And I think you all have understood this during lockdown period that how much these things are important to us. Another important thing is that you all may have observed during this pandemic or in the lockdown period when you see all kind of transport like air, water and land were being stopped and we were confined to our homes. Human outside activities reached almost nearer to zero. Factories and offices were closed, transport suspended, and construction works halted. Then what happened? What do you see? I tell you. First, we were able to see Himalayan snow peaks from Jalandhar having distance of 2,200 kilometers from Himalaya. It is surprising. It is amazing. Second, when Delhi's 11 million registered cars were being stopped, that air quality index of Delhi gets improved and pollution level lowers down to 49%. After 30 years, dolphin can be seen on the banks of river Ganga in Kolkata. Amazing. Another important thing. Flamingo birds appear in the thousands of number in Navi Mumbai. Very surprising. Water of river Ganga in Haridwar become potable according to Central Pollution Control Board CPCB. They said now water of Ganga is able to support aquatic life, nitrate concentration is reduced, and level of dissolved oxygen is automatically increased. So this is the picture, just a glimpse what we observed during lockdown period. It shows that nature has its own recovery system or immune system, and it has ability to control and cure itself. I would say that we cannot ignore it. Nature is as vibrant as we are, so we must respect the nature. But what we have done with this, do you know? How did we treat to Mother Earth? Do you know? Perhaps we don't know, or perhaps we know, but we don't realize what is the reality. Now let's see. If I talk on planet Earth, our home is the third planet from the sun and a very tiny part of the universe. But it is the only place, but it is the only place where life is found. And it is only planet known to have an atmosphere containing free oxygen. According to radiometric dating and other sources of evidence, Earth formed over 4.5 billion years ago. Within the first billion years of Earth history, life appeared in the oceans. And the very important and interesting fact is, perhaps you know, that Earth lies in Goldilocks zone. What is this Goldilocks zone? It is just right, not too hot, not too cold. It denotes the distance. The distance from Earth to the sun is one of the most important features in making Earth habitable. Venus, we all know that we have two other neighboring planets, Venus and the Mars. But Venus has the temperature of 400 degrees centigrade, while the Mars has the temperature of minus 60 degrees centigrade. So it is very important because it is habitable because of its distance from the sun. So planet Earth is very important to all of us. But do you know what happened these days? Now our Mother Earth is in danger. Human activities are having severe irreversible impact on nature. Earlier, traditional cultures used to live in harmony with the environment for thousands of years in balance with the environment. We used to believe in coexistence. Somewhere, this thought lies within us that if nature gets angry, our survival will be in danger. But when we become more modern and advanced in science and technology, all the fears are vanished. And now we believe that we can control the nature. But I believe it is mere a myth. It is not reality. We will not be able to control nature. So whatever we have observed during last few decades is very horrible. I tell you a result of a fast pace of life. Number one, global warming. I would say it is not global warming. Our Mother Earth is suffering from fever. You know, according to NASA's Goddard Institute for Space Studies, the average global temperature of Earth has increased by about 0.8 degrees centigrade since 1880. Since 1979, global average land temperature have increased about twice as fast as global average ocean temperatures. Twice as fast as global average ocean temperatures. In 2013, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC's fifth assessment report was concluded, and it is said in the report, it is extremely likely that human influence has been the dominant cause of the observed warming since the mid 20th century. The largest human influence has been the emission of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide. It is estimated that during the 21st century, the global surface temperature is likely to rise a further zero point 0.3 to 1.7 degree centigrade. In a moderate scenario, or as much as 2.6 to I think 4.8 degrees centigrade in an extreme scenario. The another important thing is air pollution, which increases the number of acid rains. Results: forests are dying, degradation of flora and fauna, mountain landslides, different diseases in humans. It is the impact of acid rains, and now it is due to air pollution. Can you imagine how worse the situation is about air pollution? Air pollution is the fifth leading risk factor for mortality worldwide. In 2017, it is responsible for more deaths than many better known risk factors. In 2017, it had been the fifth highest mortality risk factor globally, and it was associated with about 4.9 million deaths and 147 million years of healthy life loss. So, this is the situation, very, very dangerous. Now, let's come to the another point, which is we all know about melting glaciers. Glaciers are melting because of global warming, we all know. But you would be surprised to know that dense snow of Kilimanjaro have melted more than 80% since 1912. And another shocking example is glaciers in the Garhwal Himalaya in India are retreating so fast that researchers believe that mostly central and eastern Himalayan glaciers could virtually disappear by 2035. How dangerous the situation is. Another thing is deforestation. In the same way, forests are disappearing because they are cut down or burned for our development. If this trend continues, what will happen? One day, we won't have enough oxygen to breathe. Between 2000 and 2012, 2.3 million square kilometers of forest around the world were cut down. As a result, only 6.2 million square kilometers remain of the original 16 million square kilometers of tropical rainforest that formerly covered the earth. It is the main reason of global warming. More than 3.6 million hectares of virgin tropical forest was lost in 2018. You can just imagine how horrible the situation is. And now, let's come to the very serious issue. It is called modern extinctions. According to a survey conducted by 400 biologists of New York's American Museum of Natural History in 1998, in which nearly 70% believed that the Earth is currently in the early stages of a human-caused mass extinction. This is known as Holocene extinction. In that survey, the same proportion of respondents agreed with the view, and they believed in this survey that up to 20% of all living population could become extinct within 30 years. A 2014 special edition of Science declared these there is widespread concerns on the issue of human-driven mass species extinctions. Biologist E.O. Wilson estimated in 2002 that if current rates of human destruction of the biosphere continue, one half of all plant and animal species of life on Earth will be extinct in 100 years. Could you imagine how dangerous it is? And when I see this global pandemic, it's difficult, it is difficult to say how long we will be able to survive. So here is the very alarming situation, and we must aware of all these facts. Another thing is, in 2012, the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN) Red List featured 3,079 animals and 2,655 plant species as endangered worldwide. So we all know that due to melting glaciers, what happened? What is happening? Sea level is also increasing. Why should we get worried about sea level change? Do you know around 250 million people live by the coast that lies then 5 meters above the sea? Changes in sea level affect people through flooding. Since 1850, sea level has risen by about 20 centimeters around the world. The rate of sea level rise has also grown. Over this time, it is 3 millimeters each year since the year 2000. Existence of many islands and island countries are in danger, like Maldives, Sri Lanka, etc. Now I would like to draw your attention towards famous and very extraordinary scientist of this century, Stephen Hawking, who in his speech, in his interview to Daily Telegraph in 2001 said, "I don't think the human will survive the next thousands years unless we spread into space." He also said, "We are in danger of destroying ourselves by our greed and stupidity. We can't remain on this earth for many years." It was warning to all of us. So this is the brief picture that I tried to show you regarding human impact on environment. Here, first part of this lecture gets finished. Now let's come to the second part, global catastrophic risks and environmental security. Let's understand what is global catastrophic risk. Catastrophic risk is a hypothetical future event. I would say it is just imagination. It is a hypothetical future event which could damage human well-being on a global scale, even crippling or destroying modern civilization. The another important risk is Existential risk. It is an event that could cause human extinction or permanently and drastically curtails humanity's potential is known as existential risk. Now it is a big challenge for all of us to face these challenges, existential risks, because our existence is being challenged. We further divide these global catastrophic risks into two parts: anthropogenic risk, which is caused by humans, and non-anthropogenic risk, which is not directly caused by humans. So let's talk about anthropogenic risk. We can further divide these anthropogenic risks into three categories. The one is technology related anthropogenic risk. The second is governance related anthropogenic risk. And the third is climate change. If we talk about a technological anthropogenic risk, these risks include hostile artificial intelligence. I think you may all have aware of these facts. What is hostile artificial intelligence? It seems likely that sometime in the next 20 to 100 years, artificial intelligence will significantly surpasses the capabilities of human brain. The question the question then becomes, will that intelligence be friendly or hostile to human goals? It is a big question and a very, very challenging question, hostile artificial intelligence. The another thing is destructive biotechnology or nanotechnology. You all know that biotechnology means it is a broad area of biology, involving the use of living systems of organisms to develop or make products. So biotechnology, its destructive use can be a big problem for all of us in near future. And the another is experimental technology accident. Just in case of nuclear test, it can be happen. And we can put current coronavirus pandemic into this category. If, as you all know, some said it is Chinese virus, and you all know the reality behind this. So we can place it into this category, because if it is deliberately created, then it will be in this category. So such type of things are also a very big challenge for us. The another is governance related anthropogenic risks. What are these risks? Global war or world war. You all know that we have already faced two world wars. And now you all know that in the current scenario, whatever is going on in the international scenario, it is not it is very serious, and it is very challenging for all of us, because in South Asia, in Southeast Asia, and particularly in South China Sea, what is going on, you all know very well. As a political scientist, I would say it is very a critical situation, because we are nearer to war. We are very near to war. So global war, we have seen the impact of world war. So this comes to the under this subcategory. Then nuclear holocaust, bioterrorism, using genetically modified organisms, destroying critical infrastructure like electrical grid, failure to manage natural pandemic, civil war. Cyber terrorism is also very important. These days, we all are facing cyber attacks and cyber terrorism. You all know. We are much aware of these facts. Insurgencies, militarization of strategic natural resources, new weapons and weaponizable techniques, warfare and mass destruction. So these are the very, very dangerous. All these things are very dangerous and very horrible. They put very horrible situations towards us. These are called governance-related anthropogenic risks. We can also put coronavirus pandemic into this subcategory if it has if it has been spread internationally or deliberately by the China, which is not here now, but most of the countries are blaming. So if it is really true, then it will be in this category. The another example is recent Indo-China face-off in Ladakh. Can you imagine how dangerous it is for environment? How dangerous it is for environment? And the third anthropogenic risk is climate change. We have already discussed it in details, but I'll tell you few more climate change challenges like famine as a result of non-equitable resource distribution, increasing hazardous waste, which is a very big problem because we all use plastics and the single use of plastic, it is said we should avoid use of plastic, but it is not possible at all. And I think there are so many things we are using that is made up of plastic. So plastic waste is a very big problem because you all know that it is very difficult to it don't be in the recycling process again. So plastic waste is very big challenge for us. And then human overpopulation. Human overpopulation is also a big challenge. Crop failures, deforestation, then non-sustainable agriculture, loss of biodiversity, and water crisis is also another severe challenges that we are facing. Then come to non-anthropogenic risks. There are some other risks which are non-anthropogenic risks, which are not directly caused by human beings, just like cosmic threats, asteroid impact event, super volcanic eruption, a lethal gamma ray burst, a geomagnetic storm destroying electronic equipment, natural long-term climate change, hostile extra terrestrial life, or predictable sun transforming into a red giant star engulfing the earth, which is very horrible situation. We cannot imagine this, but it may be we can't say, but it is just assumption. So these are anthropogenic risks, and sometimes you have heard that some of the astronauts they believe that life is going to end. A big comet is coming to and the big collision from Earth is going to happen. But these are the assumptions, and we have not seen any such activities, and we hope we would not see. But these are the possibilities. These are non-anthropogenic risks, which are also very important. So now let's come to the another thing, which is environmental security. Whatever we have discussed right now is the problems facing by environment, and what are the challenges to environment, what is environmental degradation. There are so many aspects we have discussed right now, but now I will talk on environmental security. Why do we need environmental security? We need environmental security for the safety of our life, for the safety of all human beings, for the safety of mankind. So environmental security is very important aspect of this study. It means simply, if I would say, it is the security of environment. Environmental security is security of environment. We know that the environment is a multi-dimensional process, and most no environment is the most transnational issue, and its security is an important dimension of peace, national security, and human rights. Environmental security is central to national security, comprising the dynamics and interconnections among the nature, resource base, the social fabric of the state, and the economic engine for local and regional stability. The Millennium Project define environmental security as viability for life support with three sub-elements. What are these three sub-elements? Number one, preventing and repairing military damage to the environment. Number two, preventing and responding to environment caused conflicts. And number three, protecting the environment due to its inherent moral values. So simply I would say that environmental security examines threats posed by environmental events and trends of individuals, communities, or nations. It may focus on the impact of human conflict and international relations on the environment, or on how environmental problems cross state borders. So these are very important aspects of environmental security. All these measures have been adopted and also promoted by United Nations. The another important thing is emerging environmental security issues. What are those issues? What is emerging environmental security issues? Because there are so many issues have been emerged during these days, and which have been very which is very important. It is very important to discuss all these issues because in our day-to-day life we face very much very challenges in our day-to-day life. So we have to be very much careful towards these issues. What are these issues? Because their impact is on us, a direct impact on us. Number one, just livelihood restoration and ability to adapt to climate change. It is very big challenge. Livelihood restoration and ability to adapt to climate change. The another problem is increasing hazardous waste. It is a very big problem of these days. The another is climate change, water or food insecurity. It has been said that the next world war will be for water, because for water everyone will fight for water, because drinking water is lacking somewhere. So we should be very much careful. We should save drinking water. So water and security is a big issue. Food insecurity is a big issue, and natural disasters, forced migrations are also big issues, very serious issues, which we are facing these days. Population growth and living standards. It is expected that 2050 human will demand two planets, because in one planet it will not be able to fulfill our all desires, fulfill our all requirements. So increasing population is a very big challenge, and if the rate is the same rate is going on, and if the same rate will continue, definitely the day will come we will need two planets. Poverty and social intensities and social scarcity and social insecurities, another challenge. National instability, fight for sovereignty. Somewhere you have seen, you may have seen, there are so many cases around the world where we see in our daily life that they are fighting, people are fighting for sovereignty, there are insurgencies. So these are the biggest challenges. Growing resentment and distrust in industrialized world, militarization of strategic natural resources, emergence and convergence of technology, new weapons and weaponizable technologies, and outer space debate are other issues which are very much relevant and which should be discussed these days. We will have to understand the situation. We are in danger of destroying ourselves by our greed and stupidity. We can't remain looking at ourselves on a small and increasingly polluted an overcrowded planet. Earth has enormous potential to fulfill our needs, but it is not able to fulfill our greed. So we have to be very careful. So here the second part of the lecture completes. Here now we come to the third part, environment versus development debate, which is very interesting. This is going to be very interesting because often we have heard that environment and development can't go together. So it is very important part of the discussion. Now let's see, what is development? What do you understand by development? It is very significant question in today's global discourse. Can environment and development go hand in hand? To understand this, it will be good to have a look on present development theories. We just see present development theories, what they say. If we talk about modernization theory, if we talk about structuralism, and if we talk about dependency theory, yeah, basic needs model, and neoclassical theory, we find one common thing, that all the theories somewhere see development as economic growth, production, industrialization, income generating capacity, and free market economy, etc. It has been observed that the trend of seeing development as national economic growth began in America in 1940. Thereafter, the social scientists of United States of America worked to develop a base for capitalist economic development. Because you all know that the US is a capitalist country and their main ideology is capitalism. So it is very simple. They want to nurture that theory. They want to develop and strengthen this theory. So they took their development as economic growth. When we see the post-development theories, we find that these theories define development as mental structure, the result of which comes as a hierarchy between developed and developing countries. Now, developing countries aspire to be like developed and adopt Western values, cultures, and economy, means complete westernization. This further pushed them towards market economy. Now the question arises, should we see the development in the context of economic growth? It is very true that it is a mental construct. Mental context in what sense? Because they framed in their mind that development is the model which the Western is following. So if you want to be developed, you must follow the Western norms and rules and culture. So then you will be able to make development. So it is a mental construct. And they tried and they tried, they put enormous pressure in that particular direction to make people realize that if they want to develop, if they want to develop their nation, they must follow those rules which are following by the Western world. So what is the result? Western world, it means you have to follow capitalism, you have to follow market economy, and if you follow market economy, then somewhere you will also you will also forget your cultural values, cultural norms. So it is the worst effect of development, worst effect of this aspect. Now the question arises: should we see the development in the context of economic growth? Answer is no, because there is a big difference between development and growth. Now let's see, what is that difference between development and growth? Because it looks both the things are same. economic growth. We often talk in terms of development. When we discuss economic growth, we discuss it is in terms of development. That more economic growth means more development, but it is not exactly true. Economic growth is something else, and development is another thing. A very minute difference is there. Now let's try to understand. Number one, growth stops at certain point where whether it is cellular or economic. But development is a continuous process. It never stops. In case of human growth, suppose you because we all know that we will grow to certain height. We can achieve the height of 5 feet or 6 feet. But if we attain the height of 7 feet, 8 feet, what will happen? Is it development? Who will say is it development? Nobody will say it is development. Everyone say it is disorder. There is some disorder in your body because you are growing. It means when growth should stop at certain point. It is a natural phenomena, and it is in the case of economic growth, it is also same. Economic growth stops at certain heights, but development never stops. It is a continuous process. If growth continues after reaching the certain point, it becomes disease, like cancer, which is the result of uncontrolled growth of cells. The same thing can be seen in societies, but it is not in case of development. It is not in case of development. Maximum economic growth or unbalanced economic growth gives birth to dominance and hegemony. In political science, it is hegemony and dominance. And China is the example of this, because Chinese growth is uncontrolled growth, unbalanced growth, unbalanced economic growth. Then it changes into hegemony. China is the good example of it, and the result of which the whole world is suffering today. Because what kind of challenge is there? Challenge of existential risk. China poses big challenges to small nations. He wants to. China has its expansionist policy. Expansionist policy it means he claims all the land, all the land of their neighboring countries, that it is his own land on the historical grounds. And it is very ridiculous, very ridiculous. I would like to tell you because the claims are being made on historical grounds. Because in history, sometime thousands of years ago, one of the dynasty, king dynasty or any dynasty ruled in Nepal, ruled in Bhutan. That's why Nepal is my part and it is my territory. Bhutan is my territory. What is the logic behind this? Is it ridiculous or not? How can you claim? So we can also claim that in India expands through Hindu Kush Parvat, from Hindu Kush Parvat to the Sri Lanka, China, and the most of the territories are the parts of India. So we should claim? No, it is not right thing. We cannot claim, because we respect the sovereignty of others. We must respect the sovereignty. So why do China behave like this? Because China has economic power. China is economic power. He has enormous potential. He is managing things. He controls media. He is doing, and there is no democracy at all. So these things are managed easily. So it is the result of uncontrolled or unbalanced growth, which changes China, where the dominance prevails there. So it is a very good question. It is a very big question. And the another aspect is economic development or growth follows in linear direction, while development never follows linear path. It is holistic and moves in all directions. For example, in case of a person, what is complete development? What do you say? What is complete development? Complete development includes its physical development, mental development, spiritual development, economical development, sociological development, educational development, moral development, which makes a person balanced in his life. The same thing applies on the societies. The way they are developing is not development actually, it is disorder or disease because it is not balanced. Now the problem is to define and understand development as growth. Actually,
You are thirsty.
yeah, actually, development means higher quality of life. Development is a multi-dimensional process in which all aspects of life are upgraded. Therefore, it will be balanced and eco-friendly, means not anti-environmental. It will be holistic, where spirituality and morality will have higher value, so it will change the goal of life. Earlier, it was physical upliftment, and now it will be oriented towards spiritual elevation. So it is development, higher quality of life, to attain higher quality of life, holistic development, development in all directions. That is development. Development cannot be measured in terms of economic growth. I don't agree with this. Now, another important question is, can development and environment go hand in hand? Is it possible? A big question that is often asked here. I would like to give three theories. As per my own observation, it has been made. The one is survival theory. Survival theory tells that economic development is necessary for survival. So if we want to survival, we need roads, we need electricity, we need house. If we need house, we need land. So we will cut the trees. So what we shall do? We need development, and if we try to develop, then it will threaten the environment. The another theory is survival lies in safe environment. Survival lies in safe environment means it tells, if our environment is not safe, then survival automatically will be in danger. Survival will be in danger. Suppose you are not able to take fresh air, what will happen? The problem of asthma, the lungs problem. There are so many lungs diseases have been observed due to air pollution. In Delhi, you can see what is the situation in Delhi. Very bad, very worse situation in Delhi. Air pollution index is very low quality air quality index is there. So it is very important that survival life lies in safe environment. So if we follow this theory, then we should not develop. It means ki we should avoid development. We should be confined to our homes, and we should follow those earlier measures. We should not do anything new, because if we do anything, if we try to be more advanced, then definitely we will have to do something else. So it can hurt environment. So it is another aspect. The third aspect is peaceful coexistence. Peaceful coexistence, very beautiful word, peaceful coexistence. And this theory believes that both economic development and healthy environment are possible together if we follow sustainable development and certain basic rules. Sustainable development and certain basic rules. Now, what is sustainable development? The concept of sustainable development can be interpreted in many ways. Okay, but it is best defined by World Commission on Environment and Development, which is also called Burton Land Commission, 1987. In it is said in this commission, it was said, sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development respects the limited capacity of an ecosystem to absorb the impact of human activities. It also refers to achieving economic and social development in such a way that don't exhaust as countries' natural resources. It also advocates that development must be balanced in every aspect of life. It is a process of change in which the exploitation of resources, orientation of industrial and technological development, and industrial change are made consistent with the future as well as present needs. Living within our environmental limits is one of the central principles of sustainable development, but the focus of sustainable development is far broader than just the environment. It is also required to maintain a healthy, strong, and just society. So it is sustainable development that we need. Historically, what do you understand that it is a new concept in economics or in the current scenario? No, it is a new concept for we Indians. It is not new concept. Sustainable development implies the fulfillment of several conditions, such as preserving the overall balance, respect for the environment, and preventing the exhaustion of natural resources. It is deeply related with the demand and supply rule. Demand can be characterized in two ways. First, natural demand, which means it is basic to fulfill required needs. Second, over demand means it is when all basic needs are fulfilled and demand generated to attain more or for more development, then it becomes over demand and needs oversupply, which is it is not it is not natural rule of demand and supply, because natural rule of demand supply, it means ki, when you really need something, then you go to market and you purchase that thing. But suppose if you purchase without any need, because we can use one mobile, you all know, no, we can use one mobile, but these days it is a trend, and we all and it is often seen that everyone has two mobiles, everyone is using two or more mobiles. What is the use of two or more mobiles? Why do we use more things? We use more cars, we use number of things are being used by us. Why? If we use without our requirements, then it will create false demand, and when it will create false demand, what will happen? Its wrong impact will be on environment, because false demand will create more supply, and it will create over exploitation of resources, over exploitation of resources, which is very dangerous to environment. So we must be very careful that if you need one thing, then why to purchase two or more things? And if you do such kind of things for show off, for your personal satisfaction, that you have much money, you have more money to pay to invest, then why don't you do this? So it is not the question. Actually, we have to change our lifestyle, because the question is directly linked to our lifestyle. It is not as simple as it was in earlier days. So it is a big question. And now, if we talk on sustainability in Indian concept, in Indian tradition. I would say sustainable development is not the modern concept in Indian context. Hinduism, a religion and the way of living adopts the notion of worshiping the nature, the sun, wind, land, trees, plants, and water, which is the very base of human survival. I mean, when I when I when I say Hinduism or when I talk about ancient cultures, Hinduism means not it is not related to religion. It is related to culture because in ancient in early days it was the Hinduism was culture. So I was talking about that culture where we worship sun, where we worship land, where we worship trees, in everything. So as we have tradition of worshipping the plants, we will not cut them for any reason and we will take utmost care of them. Indian culture believes in harmony, coexistence, means whole globe is a family. It is interesting to know that the ancient Vedas have several references in them on environmental protection, ecological balance. So I think we must follow those rules. We must be eco-friendly. We must adopt such rules because if we leave such rules, then what will happen? You all are aware of the facts that what is going to happen right now. If I talk on Gandhian perspective, it is very important to discuss Gandhian perspective because Gandhi has talked much about this. And what you know, what does Gandhi say on sustainable development or holistic development on environment? Actually, Gandhi was talking about moral fulfillment. He was talking about moral fulfillment, and moral fulfillment is very important, and it is intended towards a spiritual life. We have two kind of life: physical or materialistic life or spiritual life. Vivekananda also said this. Vivekananda also talked about a spiritual life, and spiritual life is also very important aspect of sustainability or sustainable development because it makes you balance. So sometimes sustainable developments can be best achieved by the managing three types of capital, what Gandhi said. Number one, economic capital. The other is social capital and natural of the society. Gandhi did not give any theory, particularly on sustainable development. But he spoke about certain concepts and conclusions, mainly in search of a good and sustainable life for all human beings. He focused on these principles, which can easily turn into actions. His findings for better life became the mantra for sustainable development. Gandhian approach to development included all the ingredients of sustainable development. He made an attempt to preserve the traditional socio-economic structure, to fight poverty, illness, of idleness of masses. He tried to build up self-respect among the people. According to him, development is simple in which people took cognizance of self-responsibility through self-restraint, live simple, village life, and perform their assigned duties with their best. This will actually empower them by generating the feeling of self-reliance. And now our Prime Minister was also talking about self-reliant economy. And self-reliant economy is a concept of this economy is not new. It is very old concept. And we can understand that self-reliant is also important for individuals. Nobody wants to be dependent on anyone. Everyone wants to be independent. So economy, in the same case, economy should be also independent. So self-reliant is very old concept and we must follow this. Sustainable development means the optimization of the social and other benefits without jeopardizing the potential for similar benefits for the future generation income. ये said equally Gandhi ji. He focused on village and village economy or grassroots level economy. Therefore, his spirituality presented answers to the world society which otherwise is leading an unsustainability. There are so many things on sustainable development theories and all that, but that is different part. That is not part of my lecture. So now what we can do? There are some other rules, there are some other things that we should follow. For very simply, I would say take as per your need only from nature. You need not to take much from nature. At least have you ever thought that we need one tree, we need wood of one tree when we leave this planet, when we leave Earth. We need at least wood for our last funeral ceremonies. We need wood. Then, have you ever planned to plant trees? Have you ever thought to plant more and more trees and to save your environment? Actually, we should start focusing on this direction. Take as per your need only from or need only from nature. Then return double the amount you took. Return double the amount. If you have taken one, then you should return two. It is the responsibility. It is our responsibility to return double to nature. Believe in coexistence because we are not alone in this biological cycle. There are some other creatures, they are living it with us and they are part of this nature. They are also the part of the nature. So we have to conserve them. We should try to conserve them. We should try to secure them. We should try to protect them. So it is our moral responsibility. Avoid over exploitation is another very important aspect of over exploitation of resources. It is direct burden on environment. Means use one mobile, one car. Don't purchase things more and more and more. Don't collect things. It is called principle of aparigraha. Don't accumulate things. Aparigraha. If you don't need, then you need not to accumulate in your home. Avoid it. Use as per your need. So this is also very important aspect. Another thing is change the pattern of your lifestyle. Do you know in Copenhagen conference, what have been said there? Copenhagen conference on environment, it was said that our lifestyle is also a major reason for environmental degradation because we have changed our lifestyle, very much changed our lifestyle. So it creates direct burden on environment. So we have to be very careful. Believe in coexistence. Minimize your requirements. Try to live on least. Try to live on least. Minimize your requirement. It is very basic to us and it is very important issue. We all have observed, we all have experienced during lockdown. What have you experienced? We were confined to our home. We were not going to malls. We were not going for movies. We were not going anywhere. What do we need? What do we want at this condition? We want only food. We want only food, vegetables, milk. These are the essential things which were more required to us. So it means, it proves that we can live on a minimum. We can minimize our requirements. and we can live on least. Avoid wastage of anything. Suppose if you have surplus things, and you must not waste those things. Please reuse. Believe in recycling. Believe reuse the things. In earlier days, I think you have often heard, or you have often you have seen such pictures when in the family there are so many children. Suppose in the family there are so many children, then the elder one is wearing a same clothes, and the youngest are again wearing the same clothes. So they are using the same thing. So it used to happen in earlier days. So we should try to avoid wastage of anything, and we should think on it. Then preserve biodiversity. Population should be controlled, and environment ethics should be strengthened. Environment ethics is very important, and it should be strengthened. Now, let's come to the last part of this study, which is conclusion. If you, I would say, I tried to explain global catastrophes. I tried to explain human impact on environment, and I tried to explain environmental securities. Then development versus environment debate, and then what is sustainable development. I talked on these issues, and now I would like to conclude myself. I would say, if you want to sustain yourself, if you want to sustain yourself, you need sustainable development. If you want your security, secure nature first. If you want to live long, come with nature. Don't be too fast. Be slow. Be slow. It is very important to be slow. Don't mere run towards physical or materialistic world. Awaken yourself with spirituality. It is very important. Peace lies in spirituality. Peace lies among us, not in the outside world. Peace lies inside us. So believe in spirituality. Believe in Panchabhutas. What is Panchabhutas? It is believed in mythology that human body is composed of five elements, that is akash, space, jal, water, vayu, air, and prithvi, earth, agni, fire. Therefore, nature and human beings are inseparable from each other. So, we should not strive for personal fulfillment but universal peace. And last but not the least, I would say, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. We should believe in this philosophy of global village, a concept of global village, and concept of live with harmony. Thank you very much. I would like to finish. Thank you. I'm not getting your voice, madam.
Okay,
Yes,
now
yes, yes.
Dr. B. Gopal Singh asked one of the question in the chat box. What about the tragedy of commons? Please enlighten on Dutch diseases.
Could you please repeat the question?
What about the tragedy of commons? Please enlighten on Dutch diseases.
Tragedy of?
common people.
Common peoples. Okay. There are, for common people, there are so many things. Uh, at least we need fresh air, fresh water, and we need a safe environment is very basic to us. So it is very important to protect environment, because if you want to survive, if you want to live more, if you want to lead happy and healthy life, it is very important. Uh, it is very important to save environment. And I think there are so many things in which water, we should work for water conservation, because it is very important. And the another thing is electricity consumption, the use of electricity consumption. It is also very important. Food insecurity, problem of food, wastage of food. These are the very basic issues in which common people is these are concerned to the common people. So I think we have to be very careful towards these things, and we must do whatever we can do at our levels. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sarika Dubey. I am now the vote of thanks by myself as an organizing secretary for this particular program. Khalid Tande Haji, SMS Sheikh Jalaluddin, Centenary Celebration 2020, 1 week international level online faculty development program on effects of COVID-19 on global economy. On behalf of IQAC of our college, Khadir College, PG and Research Department of Economics of our Khadir College, Adirampattinam, Tanjavur District, Tamil Nadu State. I am wholeheartedly thankful to our founder, our secretary,